Chapter 3, Business to Business Marketing, Mark 485, page 3. Stakeholders are the individuals and organizations that have an interest at stake in the company, its operation, and its performance. The interest may or may not be financial. This decision process requires communication among stakeholders within the buying organization. It is necessary for the supplying organization to simultaneously approach all influencers in the decision process with a message tailored to the needs of each individual influencer. When effective and trusted, it is not unusual for the supplying firm's communications with different stakeholders to substitute for or instigate greater communication among stakeholders. Buying center. The buying center is a collection of individuals with a stake in the buying decision, individuals who contribute to the final purchase decision. Members of the buying center determine, within their own professional responsibilities, the organization's needs and the methods the organization uses to satisfy them. Buying center complexity changes depending on the complexity of the need. Contrary to what the term implies, a buying center is not one central location where buying decisions are made. The term simply refers to the representatives of the various independently operating portions of an organization, finance, production, purchasing, engineering, etc., that influence the selection of the overall best solution for the organization's needs. Depending on the size and complexity of the organization, influencers, stakeholders in the decision may be physically located a great distance across the whole, locally, nationally, internationally, etc., from each other. One of the major tasks of the business marketer is to simultaneously but individually influence all stakeholders by satisfying their individual professional and personal needs. The needs of the organization are determined by the organization's customer needs, the organization's internal goals and objectives, and by external environmental factors. Stakeholders are accountable for the development of buying requirements that satisfy all of these influences. Depending on the intended market and customers of the organization, influences may include government agencies and independent standards-setting organizations and publics, as well as the quantifiable and relationship needs of the supplier and the customer. Exhibit 3.1 shows the various professional disciplines and organizations that may contribute to or influence the buying center. The professional needs of engineering or technical specialists in the buying center are related to the physical performance of the product that is being supplied. Their concerns center on how well the component will meet design requirements and reliability perform in their application. Production or manufacturing specialists in the buying center are concerned with how well the component will integrate into their manufacturing process. Personnel responsible for the service and support of the product when it is in use by their customers will be concerned about how and what service the component will require when the product is in the field. If the purchase is a significantly large investment of the customer's finance organization is concerned with alternatives to fund the purchase. Each member of the buying center has a concern unique to his responsibilities and presents an opportunity for the business marketer to demonstrate a unique value of the offering his company seeks to provide. Chapter 3, continued, Exhibit 3.1, many disciplines can contribute to the buying center. Internal factors: technology, engineering, management, finance, accounting, legal, production, manufacturing, purchasing, supply management, marketing, service. Those are internal factors. Typical concerns. Now, let's go with the internal factors, like customer needs and buying behavior, government agencies, independent standards setting organizations, various publics. Typical concerns: physical performance of product, monitor organizational needs being met, ability to pay for large capital investments, verify track associated cash flows, clarity of long-term agreements, integration into existing facilities, throughput to meet production volumes, inventory costs, quality and assurance of supply, input to customer trends, desire for flexibility, reliability and ease of replacement. Stakeholders in each discipline within the organization contribute their expertise to the decision such that both internal and external factors are accommodated. For instance, consider the buying organization that is building a new fabrication or manufacturing facility. Included in this facility will be new fabrication tools used to manufacture the organization's product. Such assembly equipment is costly, should have a long life, meet the production volume forecasts of marketing, be reliable, and be easily and quickly repaired when problems do occur. Since this is a capital investment, the organization's finance department will be interested in the best purchase terms. Manufacturing and production personnel will want assurances that the equipment is reliable and easy to operate, and will likely want some kind of guarantee of access to rapid repair if problems do occur. Operations personnel will be concerned with the utility consumption, water, electricity, etc. of the new equipment. Facilities planning will have requirements related to the physical space the new equipment will occupy. Human resources may be concerned with employee training. Because of the complexity of the purchase, the number of stakeholders, the size of the buying center is large. At this point, it should be noted that in many organizations, the buying center has undergone a makeover in the last decade or so. As companies have moved toward more integration of supply chains, buying centers have evolved into more formalized cross-functional teams that take a more strategic approach to supply issues. This has resulted in tighter and more predictable buying processes. The good news for suppliers is that customers are more willing to entertain long-term collaborative relationships with suppliers. The outcome of the selection process is a long-term commitment to buy products or service from the supplier. The challenge, bad news, for suppliers is that the requirements are more difficult to meet than before, and suppliers may be forced to spend more effort sharing information and adapting their logistics systems to customer requirements than they had in the past. On the whole, though, well-run supply chains foster an attitude aimed toward win-win relationships, that rather than the traditional battles to see which side, buyer or seller, can keep most of the profitability.